A lot to talk about. Let's turn the light on. All right. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. Let's see. I got to just wig. Okay. We're back. Hello, guys. Hello. Welcome to my live. My name is Cheryl Grabowski. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button. Good evening on this wonderful Friday evening. This wonderful Friday evening. Y'all come on in. I'm gonna need my charger. Monet, can you tell Ashlyn to go out and get my charger for me out your car? Because I think I left it. But I'm gonna sit. What's up, Jerry Wilson? No, actually, I got it. I got it right here. But we're not gonna plug it up right now. What's up, Ariel? Y'all come on in because I got to share. We're gonna do story time. We're gonna do and hopefully a Q&A. Okay. It's Friday night. I hope y'all are feeling good. What's up? What's up, Bree Bree? I didn't even see Bree. Did I see Bree Bree? What's up, Bree Bree? Let me see if I find my other glasses. What y'all got going on in my other cell phone? Y'all, I was trying to make it here right at 7 o'clock. Okay, that's what I was trying to do. Let's say I ran over here. What's up, y'all? What's up? There's 8 people here. Y'all thumbs up. Everybody in the chat, thumbs up the live. Double tap the screen. If you would, please double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. I don't know if you guys have heard my story before. So when I came to YouTube, I shared my story. And then I ran into some awful people and they tried to tell my story. And you know, this is the thing. Nobody can tell your story like you. You know, I don't even know why people try. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know. But I want to share it with y'all because it's been a long time since I did that. All right. Just waiting for some more people to. Can y'all copy the link? There we go. Whoo, now I can see y'all. I'm just chilling, getting ready for work tomorrow and Sunday. Okay, can y'all copy the link for me? Copy the link for me, because when we were in the live earlier today, we were talking about it. It got juicy, y'all, but we had to end the live. We were talking about what's his name? Umar Johnson. And then somebody said something to me about hell. That's how it happened. Just left a block party with 10,000 kids. Now my nerves are shot. Congratulations to all that have calm nerves for that many kids. I don't want to see another child for a long, long time. Oh, we love the children. I work with children every day. Me and kids, we get along real good, girl. But it do be a lot. It be a lot. So yeah, we talked today about, one guy said in the chat, he said something about hell. And I was like, not a grown man talking about a hell. It's crazy to me. Now it's crazy to me when I hear people speak on a hell. You know, the HELL. When I hear grown folks, I'm talking about grown, smart people with degrees and everything. When they reference a place called hell, and it's almost like Cheryl Grabowski, if you don't be nice, you're going to the hell. If you talk about Jesus, you're going to the hell. And I'll be like, what? So I just want to share my story with you all and kind of bring y'all up to, great topic, bring y'all up to how in the world that I stopped believing in a hell. You know, how did I do that? Because most people do believe in it. I ran from the church too. Had my Crocs in sports mode when I did that. I left the church, the Jesus, left it all. I had to leave it alone. It was not serving me. So coming up in the Pentecostal church, not growing up, not as a child. I went in there as about around 18, 19 years old. And I learned the doctrine. Oh my God, so many rigid rules. But I fell in love with it at the time because if I think back, I don't know what it was. What's up, Eric Hickerson? that made me fall in love with ministry. I don't, it could have been validation. It could have been because, I mean, my family wasn't positive. They didn't really say beautiful things to me. Um, they, you know what I'm saying? There was not a lot of validation at all. You know what I'm saying? They called me Big Ford. They called me this and called me that. My mama said she couldn't stand me. Like, it was, in my household was a lot of negative energy, right? So when I got over to the church, there was validation and confirmation, you know. There was good music, and everybody would, you know, people would tell you that they loved you. And so they caught me. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I was like, oh, and then the promise that God loves me, the Pentecostals told me. And I was like, God loves me. Nobody never really told me that God loves me. Like, how do they know that? And then they told me how to pray and all of that. And so I did that. What's up, Rich the Fish? I don't believe in any of that either, Auntie. I actually read a book, lots of books on science, rationalism, and logical thinking. I'm a kind, scientific, and positive person without religion. Well, let me tell you something, Rich the Fish. Oh my God. I had to run many a miles before I got anywhere near what you just said in this chat, because I sat and I allowed myself to be indoctrinated. And some of y'all might say, Sugar Grabowski, what does that mean? That means that I took on their thinking, their rules, the regulations, what they taught, what they look at the Bible, how they felt about the Bible, what they felt like was true. Then it became true to me. They were my new family. They were saying that they were the mouthpiece of God, and they taught us like any other church. You know, when you go to church and you listen to the pastor preach, then you just, you know, you just say, they tell you this is what God says, and you kind of see it there in your Bible, and then you just go with it. So that's how it was. I was an indoctrinated Christian. I took it all in. I took it all in. Took it all in. I was like, oh my God. But honey, eventually I would hate it. And when I look back now, like, I hate it so much. I hate it still, you know what I'm saying? But without the negative emotions, because I've done my shadow work. So I've been able to get rid of the the energy of the hate. But the knowledge of all of what it did to me, and how it basically captivated me, and it kind of imprisoned me in my mind. You know what I'm saying? It had me thinking thoughts that I shouldn't have never thought. And it had me, basically, it just policed my whole soul. That's a good way of saying it. It policed my whole soul. Did those people put a bad taste in your mouth after how they welcomed your husband's mistress as if she did nothing wrong? Just a question. What's up, No Ego? How you doing? Oh, it would be many years before that happened. That was down the pipe. That would be almost 17 years, 16 years after I got there. So I just want to talk about all of that first, because that was on the end. You know what I'm saying? My observation with the Christian people were that they were hoping and believing and even saying certain things about God, and it wasn't true. Do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't true. Like, they presented themselves like they were the righteousness of Jesus Christ, and they were not. They said that they were holy, and they were not. They were not that. It was just, they were holy when it came to a certain list. Like, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not smoke and drink and fornicate. Holy. That list. But I was a Bible reader, so I saw all the list. And when I look at all of the lists, then they were on the list. And even though they felt like that they were holy because they all could keep those things, they were missing it on the other side. So just in my own personal observation and logic, I was like, are these people crazy? Or do they not read their Bible? Okay, I heard what the preacher said, but I took the book home and I studied and read it and ate it and dissected it, and they're not telling the whole story. They're following the church doctrine, and that's what I found out about Christians. And this was abroad too. This was not just my local church. This was, you know, because I was a hairstylist, still am, part time. So I knew a lot of people, and I did a lot of church people, different groups of church people from different denominations and different branches of Christians. And it was that way abroad. It was just crazy. They believed that they were the children of the light and everybody else was the children of the dark. And I was like, that's not true. That is not true at all. And but me personally, I never saw it that way. I saw myself as I was. I saw my humanity. I saw my downfalls. And my downfalls were not many. If you would compare me to them, I got a better grade in the Christianity than they did. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not bragging, but I'm just saying I did. You know, I really had the lifestyle, and a lot of them like really didn't. They just hung on to, were you still under the same denomination when you were preaching? Basically, yes, because we kind of went toward non-denominational, but we were still Pentecostal. Because if you've ever been Pentecostal, you always going to be Pentecostal. Like, you don't really change that. Like, there's really no way of changing that. What's up, Nikki? Because the Pentecostals they're fundamentalists and they have the rigid rules and stuff. And they really believe that, Pentecostals really believe that they are more saved than other denominations. And a lot of times they are, to be honest, they're a little bit more conservative than regular Christians. You know what I'm saying? Like Pentecostal people, you're not going to see them out at a bar late at night having a margarita. They're not going to do that. But at the same time, they might have their boyfriend over late at night to fuck. But you won't see it. You see what I'm saying? So they don't do stuff like that. You're not going to see them out in the open doing things that Christians are not supposed to do. You're just not. They are taught, and I'm going to use this verbiage, but they are taught to keep that mask up, to keep the facade up. That's how it is. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. And so some religions are allowed to get married. So yeah, that's how it was. So that was my experience. So when I'm in the app and I'm talking to people about this hell thing, and they say, well, Cheryl, you don't know, you're going to get in trouble with God. And one guy in the chat today, he went to praying for me. Your husband has a mistress? Well, I'm not married now, Nikki. I'm divorced twice. So I'm single now. My first husband did have a mistress. He did. Yeah, my ex. He did. So over at the Pentecostal church, well, basically, technically, I mean, they got together. Him and the woman from the church, she'd watch me the whole time. That's what I'm saying about church folks. Now, I'm not saying everybody go to churches like this lady. But what I'm saying is, these are the kinds of things that happen in the environment of church. That's what I'm saying. And what they do is they'll come around the block and fix it all up like they did with him and her. And then forget all about all of their indiscretion. As long as they went, you know, and got married and made it right, then they come back and present as like everything is okay, while me and my children was hurt, devastated, and traumatized by it all. Because basically she and my ex-husband just ran out of town and got married on their way to where they were going, and then lived 9 years in Atlanta, Georgia, as first lady and minister. So basically she just took my place. Basically, and this is the thing, this woman was a Pentecostal person, and her mother was a preacher, and she, not like me, she had been born into it. So she was born into Pentecostalism and religion. Born. Meanwhile, she sat right across from, obviously, me and my husband at the time, and she wanted to put herself in my place, and eventually she did. So when they ran out of town, Lacey and I, we had 4 children. I'm talking about Christians. Matter of fact, me and Lacey had our own ministry because we left that particular church and we had our own ministry across town. Okay? So what she did was, I guess she wanted them the whole time. And then eventually, when we broke up, they left town together. But she knew that she was taking a minister out of town as her man, and he had 4 children with his wife. She knew that. But she was Pentecostal. She didn't care. A lot of time, Pentecostal women are very desperate for a husband because they don't know how to date. They're not regular people. Do you see what I'm saying? Their religion has messed their mind up so bad. They're not regular people. They don't even really know. Y'all, there is such a underdevelopment in the brain of a Pentecostal church person. It's terrible, y'all. Y'all just don't understand. I hate that when people hide their drink from certain people, but people like me, they're comfortable doing it in front of. I hope it's because I'm not judgmental and not because I'm not knocking. First of all, if you grown, this is why, Nikki said, yes, this is why I don't deal. If you are fucking grown, if you drink, then you drink because you're grown. Some people say, no, sure, it's a matter of showing respect. You are not a child. And that's what I tell everybody around me. I tell my friends, I tell my daughter, I tell other people. If I got to dumb down and be a child in front of you to make you feel good because you call yourself a Christian, we're not gonna be dealing with each other. We're not, because see, I'm grown. And when you chose to be a Christian, that's your business. You see what I'm saying? It's really what you choose to believe and you live your life by. But this is my life. I'm not doing what you're doing. So you just worry about yourself. We are grown. Don't worry about me. Child, it's somebody been playing on my internet all day. They've been playing on my internet. They've been playing in the chat. So Monet, look, I'm getting ready to go to Spectrum and get a whole new phone number. Because what you not going to do is keep on communicating with me because y'all got my phone number. You're not going to be able to do it. I'm going to change my email too. I'm going to do both. I'll probably do it this weekend. So go ahead on and have you a good time. But anyway, the Pentecostals are like that. They will not mind their own business. When I tell y'all, church people, but it's really sad because church people are like children. I don't care if you're 74, it doesn't matter. You're still a child. You're still a child. And that's the part I hate about it. And I was like that. It was real bad. It was real bad. So, yeah, she went on down the road with my husband. I was like, oh, I was such a wonderful Christian. You know, I had never slept with anybody other than my husband at that time. I was not no sleep around teenager, none of that. So it was just my husband at the time. I was very green. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I ain't sell no drugs. You ain't keep no drugs at my house, none of that. I ain't selling no drugs out my trunk, none of that. I ain't gonna go to Walmart stealing, none of that. Like, I'm not doing that. And this was not really because of the church, really. This just was me. Like, I just wasn't that type. I've been working ever since I was 11 years old. So, no. But anyway, when I say the church people, y'all, oh, they really did a lot of, I just don't understand how people, let's see. I wish you wouldn't blanket all Pentecostals together. I was born into a Pentecostal church, but we're a modern church. We don't practice modesty. We don't practice modesty, and definitely not crooked in the head. Did you mean to say that you're modern, and we don't practice modesty, and definitely not crooked in the head. The doctrine. Well, how did y'all change the doctrine? Because Pentecostalism is about being modern. Unless your pastor changed the rules. It is. You see what I'm saying? And see, here we go again when it comes to religion. Here we go again. From one local church to the next, people are always, you got your Bible, right? Everybody is reinterpreting it. Everybody changes the goalposts or moves it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so we Pentecostal now, but we're gonna put our pants on and we're gonna wear makeup. But the original Pentecostal doctrine says not to do it. So over and over again, I just cannot do organized religion at all. I can't do it. It's a whole. It's just like the government. Now we got these laws, and then you got a group of people that want to take these laws, take the statute number 9 and number 10 out, so they can go around the backside and flip it around, and then bring their agenda to the front. Church is the same. Look, church, government, same thing. Let me say it again. Church, government, same thing. Same thing. Got a bunch of people with the rules, and when they get ready, they want to change the rules. And then they want you to abide by the rules, but they themselves don't want to keep the rule. No, I'm grown. We're adulting over here. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I'm not talking to the pastor. I don't want no counseling. None of that. None of that. Because when I come and help you, ask you to pay my mortgage, you're not going to give me the money. See what I'm saying? You're not going to do nothing but run your mouth. So, no, I don't need a daddy. I don't need no validation. I learned how to validate myself. So, anyway, we don't have to wear long skirts, dollies, no makeup, no jewelry, etc. First of all, you don't let church people tell you what to do. I used to. I was very plain-faced, wore skirts, no makeup, no jewelry, looking dry and old, and I was in my 20s. So I did that already. Because the pastor was a female, and she was very much older, and that's how they were. But my grandma was like that. She wore no makeup too, but she wasn't religious. So back in those days, black women just didn't really do feminine things. I don't know why, but they didn't do it a lot. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, she said they don't have to, Cheryl. They don't have to wear no makeup. They don't have to wear no makeup, no jewelry. I don't understand that. I still don't understand it. I went back to it. So is she saying that they are allowed to look the way that they want to look? Is that what she's saying? Anyway, why would you go to a place? Are you the lady who makes sense? Look, why would you go to a place where people tell you how you're supposed to dress? You're grown. Church is almost like coaching. But nowadays, you don't need that anymore because you got the internet, like you got books. You just don't need it anymore. Even though she's saying that her church don't do that, people are still under that kind of strong fist. People are still under it. And that was my experience. Not only my experience, like I said, I'm a cosmetologist. I've done thousands, maybe even 10,000 heads. It's been like 35 years. Do you see what I'm saying? 38. I've done a whole lot of people. I've talked to a whole lot of people. I've been around a whole lot of people. I've been friends to a lot of people. This is not just my local church. This is an observation of lots of people. You know what I mean? So anyway. So I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate it because I know what it does. So the preacher that we were under made this biggest, her biggest argument was obey me. It was obey me. You do what I tell you to do. And I was like, I don't like that. That feels yucky to me. You obey what I say. And if you don't obey what I say, the Lord will curse you. If you don't do what I say, you might as well hang something real, put a chain around your neck and attach concrete to it and jump into the ocean. You might as well go on and unalive yourself, because if you don't do what I say, the Lord is going to strike you down. That kind of stuff is what was going on. Oh, well, if you don't pay your tithes, honey, you will not prosper. If you don't give the church your money, I knew someone else, he gets deep. He says there is no heaven or hell. There is no heaven or hell. That's all stuff for control. I mean, but it's not even, that is yuck, because she is wrong and had no right to tell you that. They used to say that. I'm serious. People were looking for me to be dead a long time ago. People are still wishing for my death now. Only because I won't allow them to be my leader. Only because I won't allow them to tell me what to do. And only because I will not come and participate in the, I don't know what you call it. I don't need that. I'm not scared of God. I can tell me what to do. This is my life. It's a cult. Because they can see your light in their darkness. I mean, it is what it is. They always wanted my talents. They love that part. The time, the talent, and the tithe. Oh, they love that part. And when I took that away, no, you come back. No, I'm not coming back. I'm not scared of what you're scared of. That's you. That's your fear. I'm not afraid of that. There's no reason for me to be scared of a loving God. What would I do that for? I know when me and God talk, I don't feel negative vibes. When I pray, I don't feel like God is going to kick me down to the ground. I don't feel that way at all. Why would I? I've been having conversations with God ever since I was a little girl. God was always there in everything that I went through, even before any day that I met a pastor or my ex-husband, because he wanted me to obey too. Every day he almost asked me or demanded me to obey him. Every day. It was terrible. I've been having conversations with God all my life. I didn't never had to go to church to have a conversation with God. I never had to lift up holy hands to have a conversation with God. I never needed to light a candle. I never needed to pray in the Holy Ghost to have a conversation with God. I never. I've been having conversations with God ever since I was a little girl. And I had to get away from the church in order to hear God's voice, because in all that commotion between the music and the hollering through the mic and the people, hallelujah, and all that dancing and all that acting, it was, oh, God was not a part of that at all. Tanya says exactly. Hey, Cheryl, my pastor was a woman also, and she was like in her 60s, 70s when I was in my 20s and 30s. Okay. My pastor was too. Now, some people have asked me, say, Cheryl, do you believe that some people need it? Yeah, maybe they do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they do. But I didn't. I didn't need that. I didn't need it. It stifled me. See what I'm saying? It kept me from learning valuable life lessons, and it kept me from experiencing life in the way that I needed to in order to evolve and grow. This Cheryl Grabowski that YouTube knows, honey, y'all don't understand what I've gone through. What's up, Dr. Nuka? Y'all don't understand what I've gone through in order to come here as this version of me. This is 1000% courage and not giving up and believing in myself and believing in a loving God that loves me, that's inside of me and not outside of me. Um, and she had a way to make us not challenge what she said. She would say, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Girl, that's the scripture right there. Oh, touch not mine anointed. That is very, very narcissistic. Who do you think you are? See, as I got closer to leadership and I started seeing them, I was like, oh my God. When I found out that they were only bold in the church, but when I saw them outside of the church environment, they shrank like minions. When I realized that they didn't know what was going on in the world, and basically that they were hiding from life itself, and they were sitting there and be in this bubble. I mean, when I went back to visit church and saw and felt what it was like, I said, oh my God, these people have gaslit themselves into a time capsule. And there's no evolution. It was never, now I see that I went through the church experience, and even though I hate it, I'm able to talk to you guys today about it. So now I've been deconstructing now for 20, how many years? Let me see, 2024. For a while. Over 20 something years. I've been deconstructing from that brain damage. You know, somebody telling you over and over and over again, over and over and over, and God is going to get you. You got to obey God. It's the most narcissistic thing ever. Monet, what's wrong with the dog? If you don't go through it, you don't know. Brainwashing. And that time castle is 2,000 years ago. Albeit those stories matters, but so does 2025. They wanted me to obey. Wow, this is such a beautiful, transparent live. Thank you, a brilliant. They wanted me to obey. It was, and not only that church and that particular church and my husband, but there were other churches that I tried to go to before I realized that I didn't need to go to a church at all. But they all wanted everything. They wanted my power. They wanted my praise. They wanted my money, my time, and my talent, but they didn't want me. They didn't want me. I couldn't have a conversation with my husband. I couldn't have a conversation with that female pastor. And I couldn't have a conversation with other pastors because they never were interested in anything that I've ever said or even any questions or anything. Their job was, my experience with church is, their job was to pour, and you can hear, you probably can remember them saying this to you. I want to pour into you. I want to pour into you, Cheryl. You want to pour into me? But I'm a brainy person. I have questions. So can I not ask you any questions, or can we not have like a conversation? But the answer to that is no, we can't, because we have a fixed system. And inside of the fixed system, church, we tell you what to do. We share our thoughts with you, and you sit and listen, and then you give us your time, your talent, and your tithe, and then you go home. That's the system. And inside of that, I felt like, oh my God, this is not a two-way thing. This really is a one-way thing. I don't want this. I don't want this. The conversations that I had with God when I was a child, I got so much more from that than this. I don't like this. This is not good. This is not good. Ashton, can you see if you can get the dog quiet? Yeah. I'm sorry about the dog barking. He's been out all day, but he's in his cage and he don't like it. But so yeah, they've wished for my death. There's a lot of people that would have almost guaranteed that I'd be dead by now. And this is a thought that I used to think too, because I was indoctrinated, doing it for all their own reasons, not for God, not for the money. And I was scared. I had to confront that because I was an indoctrinated Christian and I was scared of hell at the time. So I had to confront that. I had to confront my husband who was being abusive, and it was a lot going on. I had to confront my husband as well. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Y'all see me. That's my right. Y'all see me as, the bold Grabowski, and I didn't bring food. I ate my food before I got home. Now I'm on my live. I'm trying to do my live, girl. But in those days I was bold too, but not the level of bold that I am. Back in those days, I was desperate. That's a good word for it. I was just desperate. Basically, it just came down to, I said that you and you cannot own me. No ownership. Period. I don't care what you know. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been doing it. I said you can't own me because I don't require ownership from any other person that I've ever known in my life. I don't want to own you. And I couldn't understand for the life of me back then. That was my mindset. These people want to own me. They literally want my soul. They want me to give them my soul, my time, my attention, my allegiance. And I don't understand why they want this from me. I don't understand this, but I can't give them this. I don't know. The answer is no. And so I'd been watching a lot. I love your content, confidence, and ideas, but I had to step out at times. Why, Jamie? Hey, girl. Why? They wanted ownership, and I no, you cannot own me when it comes to racial issues. Well, Jamie, I mean, I follow white content creators on YouTube, right? And there's another there's another level of truth, Jamie. It really is, and I hope you get it. Because at the end of the day, I'm a black woman, and I don't like being looked down on and treated bad because I'm black. It's not right. Do you see what I'm saying? So they come in my live and call me monkeys all the time. So, it is what it is. So I get upset. And when I get upset, I punch back, Jamie. But I love you, girl. And I punch back with my husband and with the church. No, don't feel out of place. I'm just a puncher. I'm just a puncher back because you can't own me. I don't know. It was just always, yeah, I feel, what's up, Tammy Boo? Leveling up with Tam. Y'all follow Tammy. Yeah, I feel you, Cheryl. Leadership like to tell you that you need a covering as if it isn't, God isn't your covering. Yeah, leave me alone. No ownership. I said you can't own me. Leave me alone. Because I left the building too. Good for you, Tammy. Good for you. I can't do that. And I don't understand why they can't lead without the ownership part. And that gives me, now, y'all know this is new. Back then, 20-something years ago, this is not my thinking because I didn't know anything about that. But now it gives me narcissism. You want to rule and dominate me and kick down my door and come into my house and rearrange my furniture like my inner construct. I said no. The boundary is up. I said no. Yeah. Cheryl, Visitors used to come visit the church, and they would always tell her that I had a pure heart, that I was not there to do church, that I was a woman after God's heart. Oh, she got mad. Oh, yeah, I bet you she did. And Nikki said, Scorpios. That's right. You can't own me. And now I look back and, people say Cheryl Bousey don't love God. Oh, God, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Y'all have no idea. Like, yes, I do. Because when I look back at my journey, and it was all for authenticity's sake, it was all about me knowing that I know. It was all about me, Cheryl. I could hear God say, will you listen to them or will you listen to me? Can you be bought? Are you going to use your intuition? Are you going to stand on what you know? Or Cheryl, what do you think about that? It was always, what do you think about this? And I'm the same way now. Like, no, you can't own me. I said no. And I was willing, because I was taught like y'all. I was willing, just like y'all, taught just like y'all. Tammy said, my last leader was wicked. Girl, yes, ma'am. Why do they say things like that? People, that part, Nikki, have been brainwashed. It came down to, because I was an indoctrinated Christian, I was Pentecostal. I can hear God speaking more now than when I was following man. Yes. And that's the goal. Ooh, that's the goal. But back in those days, because it might be somebody that's dealing with that and you've not pressed, you've not come to that degree or to that point. But I got so desperate for me and God's thing. I don't want anybody else in my way. I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with the second person in charge. I just want me and God to have our thing. And so I told God, I said, listen, it was plain as day. People say, and I done said this to y'all before, but I'm going to say it again because it's my truth. People say Cheryl backslid. There was no backsliding. It was a conscious choice, I swear. There was no backsliding. It was a conscious decision. The decision was, everything that they've said and everything that I've learned from them, I'm going to dismantle it. And then I turned to the God in me and said, let us walk together. And you show me, because I would rather go to hell than to live that version of life that they want for me. They are not my maker. They are not, and I will not obey them. I will not. I'd rather die first. That's how damn desperate I was for authenticity and to have my own thing. That was the price that I was willing to pay then and now. That has not changed. That's how desperate I was. I don't know if y'all know what it feels like when somebody wants to own your soul. And I don't understand it, because I would never do that to a person. I would never do that to a person. I would never say that that you cannot live, thrive, and survive without me. And that God is speaking to me to tell you, and you ain't heard God say nothing. I'd rather, no ma'am, there would never come out my mouth. Because I know that's not true. That is not true. So I don't understand. To see so many, that's my story, y'all. It's been a journey towards authenticity and my own autonomy. But a lot of people, Jamie, you don't understand. A lot of people live like that. They are scared of their leaders. Tammy, no. When I say scared, y'all don't understand. It's so awful. Everybody is eternal beings. Yes, I do know that. They are scared. But this is not, okay, so Cocoa Puff, you know that. But there are a lot of people who don't know that. Do you not understand that they are in that matrix? And they won't be free until their leader is dead. That's what me and Tammy, this is how we came up. Tammy, because y'all don't know, but I know Tammy. We know each other really, really well. But this is what we came out of. A lot of people never make it out of this. If you were ever, it's like being in a domestic relationship. Yes, I said that. What's up, Vaughn? I said that earlier today. I did. I made that compare. I'm sorry about the dog, y'all. I really am. But it's like being in a domestic relationship. It is. Okay, I can hear you now, sure, LOL. Oh yeah, Roy, I went back and watched the live and the audio was awful. It was terrible. You're right about that. I like your nails. Thank you. My toes are the same way. But if you've ever been owned, or if you felt like that someone wanted ownership of your soul, and if they don't say that it's okay for you to go and come, if they don't say that it's okay for you to express yourself in a certain way, then you second guess yourself. It's a terrible thing. It's terrible. That's my story, y'all. That's it. And so now with this with me deconstructing, I just, you can say what you like and you have your own opinion. Again, I say, I love God more than anything. I can fellowship with you without being controlled by leadership in the building. So Tammy, yeah, that's the evolution, right? Because how long are we supposed to be children? Um, a lot of us are parents and grandparents in life, and then we become elders in age. But when it comes to our religion, we never evolve and grow up. Why is that? Why is it? I call it forever child. It's a real thing. I've heard other people talk about it, but I didn't get it from somebody else. I got it from my experience because that's how I see a lot of other people. English has a weird way of turning things into idolatry, ego, and separation base. Well, basically, that's what religion is. That thought is deep. I feel like my deepness helped me to evolve. I really feel like now that we are in the end times, we as people really need to get to know the Creator for ourselves. And the way that we do that is we go within. The journey is not outside of you. The journey is not outside of you. Say it again like Dr. Umar. The journey is not outside of you, but it's really inside. We talked today about this body being a shell. Y'all know this body is a shell. If you've ever seen someone when their spirit leaves their body, if you've ever seen that in real life, and I have several times, Vaughn, if you've ever seen anyone, I'm sorry, but how did that come from? What? Then you know that this body is just a shell. You know what I'm saying? And that the real us, or the God us, is on the inside. So it's a journey inside. Just think about it. Your real authentic spirit has always been there as a map and a blueprint for your life, but you're looking on the outside of it to somebody else on the outside to rule and to govern you. What do you think about your spirit, and what does it say about that? That's not cool. It's not. Even though people will be that for you, if you don't know to look within, they will take that job. intimate relationship, and birther. We're taught to learn and grow as young people, but you're right. We get older and things in childhood don't apply as adults or elders. That's all I want to say. It's called adulting. It's a holistic worldview. Everything is part of the living presence. I believe that. Inward work, yes. Church is in your heart. You say, I like that. All existence is God, as they call it, but it's also us. It's everything. Yeah. Well, honey, listen. People say everybody doesn't have the Spirit of God. That is not true. Let's talk about that for a minute, because y'all are part of the evolution, right? So it's not true to me. Maybe that's true to you, but that's not true to me. And I'm going to tell you why. So you got a higher self, lower self, right? Higher self, lower self. But you wouldn't have any of those selves if the Spirit of God wasn't in you. If the Spirit of God wasn't in you, you lay flat on this floor and the morgue will come and get you. Whether or not you're in the lower self or higher self is up to you. Because in the middle is your choice. That's where you choose. The higher you, which is the light, the lower you, which is the dark. Both is you. That's all you. But you're choosing, and especially as you grow and evolve and learn, that's what life is all about. It's about the evolution. We're on a life journey, y'all. We're on a life lease. It don't last forever. And I feel like it's a beautiful thing. Like, even the idea of expiring, for me to have to give this body to the earth, there is no contempt in that for me. All things are resolved. When it's time to go, it's just time to go. It's not even a real big deal, because I really believe that there is no death, technically. Okay, the body dies, right? Say, for instance, if my finger was cut off and fell to the table, it would rot, and you know what I'm saying? The gases would release. You would put it in the trash somewhere, do whatever you want, but it'll break down like sand eventually. And the gases release and go back up in the atmosphere, and we breathe that in. So, it all has a purpose. But spirit, oh, that thing is eternal. Um, it's eternal. And I just think it's beautiful. LOL. It scares my family when I say I'm not scared of dying. Well, I think it's natural to be afraid of dying, right? I think that's part of our construct, because we don't need to be just dying just cause. Because you're here to live, to learn, to grow, to evolve, to experience. That's what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? We're here to find out that we are the lower self, higher self. And when we vibrate high and love, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I was telling him, how many generations do you think it'll be? Like Tammy say, Jesus is coming back. That's what Tammy say. Jesus is coming back. Think about this. How many generations will it take for us, the collective, just all people around the planet, to understand that if we vibrated at the highest vibration, that means that our chakras were high, that we would be positive, love each other, we would not deal with our traumas. We know about our traumas, right? We know how to soothe ourselves emotionally, regulate ourselves, go within to love God and commune with God, therefore communing with the people. It would change the entire world. The world would change. What's up, Daisy? Oh, here we go again, Cheryl. We losing you in and out. For real? Am I going in and out, y'all? Daisy, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hello, guys. Okay, you're fine. Okay. Awareness of the highest overall separation dominance, we would have heaven on earth. I'm here. I'm good. Okay. Okay, thank you. So just imagine that. If we were in our higher selves. You say, Cheryl, what does higher self mean? Higher self means love. It means fear has been dealt with. Fear has been dealt with, right? Not the all fear, but the unhealthy fear. Anxiety has been dealt with. Traumas have been resolved. We know that we care for ourselves, we love ourselves, and the people that's around you, and everybody is on that vibration. Nobody is on the lower vibration. And then collectively, all over the world, it would change everything. It would change everything. That's what it means. And I asked him, I said, what do you think? He said, sure, it would change everything. This planet would be completely different if we were vibrating. It means everyone is free for solution, or the newest word, salvation. Now, that, you're talking about salvation. Now, that is salvation, because at that point, then we would just be loving, and we would just enjoy. It's almost like being with a really good friend, and there is no contempt between you and the friend. There's perfect understanding. You could talk. Your friend care about you. You care about your friend. There's reciprocation going on. The friend got this new evolution going on, and you got it, and just everything is beautiful. We got to worry about nobody doing anything bad or saying anything bad or anything like that. It's just all good. That's what it's like. Wow, how long has it been? What's up, H&D? You're getting more beautiful every day. Congratulations. Thank you, H&D. That's what it would be like. So what we do, we're learning how to vibrate high. In my experience, Tammy, I don't know about you, but in my experience, the church don't know how to do this. In my experience, the church is still dealing with the trauma. Tammy, the church is still right, free from evil in the way it was meant to be from the beginning of time, yes. The church is still dealing with the trauma, our traumas, I agree, and the low vibration. And we can only sustain the good spirit long enough, like in the building. And then when everybody leaves the building, they don't have enough gas, enough of what we're talking about to sustain them in their lifetime or their lifestyle day by day. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't watch the news. I spend a lot of time in quiet rooms, because in quiet rooms is where me and God can communicate, and I can observe and take notes on lots of things, and then try to decide what else I want to experience in my lifetime and how I can be good to the people who are good to me. So me and Monet were talking about, why can't you be good to really, really bad people? You just got to be careful, because while you're on the high vibration, they're on the low vibration. Down here is murder. Down here, they'll steal from you. Down here, they will exploit you. They'll lie on you. They'll take your husband or your wife. They'll do bad things to your children down here. So as a high vibrational person, you just got to be careful. You got to always have the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And you got to keep an eye. You got to always pay attention, because the low vibrational is real, and we all, everybody on this live, including me, have the ability also to be in our low vibrational state. The point is that when you realize that you're there, that you hurry up and come on out of there, and that you don't do that too much damage while you're there. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Exactly, because they are conditioned to only hear the orders given in the building. Yes. I think they're confusing people who don't understand a lot and hear what these people preach without understanding if it's right or wrong. I think so too. I think this is some good word teaching. Thank you, Shelley. I think so too. I really, like, I can get quite emotional about certain people that go to church and they are being abused. Sure, do you still believe in the Bible though, after reading and studying it for yourself? Okay, so it's hard to, I can't answer that like one blanket things like yes. There are some wonderful things in the Bible. There is some metaphysics, there is some science, there are some exact wisdom in the Bible. But I do understand that man has done a lot of tampering with it. And I believe, Tam, this is just my belief. You don't have to believe it or anybody else on the live. But I believe that man has altered some things, changed a lot around, and wrote himself into power in certain places that he originally wasn't supposed to have. That's what I believe. I don't call things right or wrong. I call it wise and unwise. I don't like any tyranny of authority. I like that. Wise and unwise. I might adopt that from you. Thank you. That's what I believe. There are some scriptures, Tammy, that are harmful to me. Have you had any spiritual experience with the Lord? I think everything I'm saying on the live is a spiritual experience, Roy. The whole thing has been a spiritual experience. Right, I believe that as well to a certain degree. Okay. I believe the same. Okay. So basically what I'm describing is called critical thinking. So using your critical thinking even with literature is high vibrational. And especially for people like me and you, Tammy, that's been around for a long time. What's up, Fatima, in the building? Especially people like us that's been, love you, girl, that's been around for a long time. There's an evolution that is supposed to be happening, Tammy, but I believe it only happens to people who do their due diligence and who really are in pursuit of the truth. Not the ones that say, oh, well, this is what I was taught, this is what I'm gonna do. It worked for mama, so it's gonna work for me, or work for my auntie and them, so it's gonna, not those ones. But the ones who are steadily, truth is everything. For the ones who are steadily understanding that there's a living God abiding, and God always wants to commune. There's a conversation going on every day. And that's what life is. That's why we came into the earth. You know what I'm saying? I am continually to pray and ask God for clarity of his word. Okay. Truth first, then, and gain freedom. Yes. And I love freedom, by the way. I cannot be owned. Don't try to own me. I hate that. Of any kind, no ownership. I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I agree, Tammy, that book has a lot. Existence is consciousness, and it wants to experience harmonious being of existing. Wow, that's beautiful. Existing is consciousness. That's deep right there, y'all. Did y'all get that? Existing is consciousness. So listen though, at the same time, for anybody to speak to any human and tell them that they are without God, that's a bad thing, I'm telling you. It's a storybook, and others have their story as well. With all the human beings living in this world, who's to say Christianity is the only way? Well, see, that's the thing. Like, somebody branded it a long time ago, and it's so provocative, and it's just rude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real. It's just rude. I feel like if anybody really loves God, like if and is a work of God and really called of God, you'll understand that God literally can be called different names. It doesn't matter about the name. It doesn't. What matters is about the essence and the spirit of how you do things. You know what I'm saying? Because you got really low vibrational people, demonic people, who call on the name of Jesus, and we know that. You know what I'm saying? Christianity wiped out my culture almost. What's your culture? Alicia said, I believe that. Yeah, I mean, there's no way that I would look at Cherokee. Oh my goodness. Y'all, when they came in, they weren't playing. When back in the day, if we take it all the way far back, it was terrible. But look at what they're doing right now in the White House. The white nationalists. That's another branch of Christianity, and we already know what they're doing. So I believe ideology above all. I blame ideology above all. Me too. Me too. Hmm. Me too. I hate to say it that way, but I do. So those are some of the reasons why I left the church. No one beyond attunement to balance, they can learn harmony. You think so, Coco? I don't know about that. Ideology is what keeps them trapped. You feel like the ideology itself is what ensnares them. If you think about ideas of separation and dominance, if you think of like some of the worst people in history that's created um, genocide, they were all religious. That's why I have issues with religion. Religion has been tied to corruption, segregation, and wars. God knows that I believe in Him and the fundamentals of being a good person. But okay, oh my God, listen. You said it's tied to wars. Now, Jean. Hey, Jean. It's been a while since I talked to you. I seen you. It's been tied to wars, right? So there's a content creator on TikTok that says that religion is a political book. It's politics. This is a keen observation that you give tonight in this live. That it's a political book, period. That church and state, the government, is the same thing. Alicia said it very much is. Now, y'all, that's a deeper level. I'm telling you. For the deep laners that's on the live, that's a deep level. That is something to take home and to meditate on. If that is true, then we're in a matrix. And it was meant for that purpose. If it's true. Do y'all believe we can bridge the race gap with religion or love? Not with religion. With religion or love, cause loving, I love all, even though I understand racial issues. I'm Polish. My family was in the Holocaust. I think love is the answer. That's what I think. Many founding fathers didn't like Christianity. What's up? I am the captain. How you doing today? Mm, mm, mm. Whole reason we're a constitutional republic. Christians couldn't get along. LOL. Mm. Jean says, yeah, but we steal that stuff like lying, stealing, cheating, and killing is bad. We all know that we need to apologize sometimes and try to make amends. That's just common sense. Okay. Roy says, Cheryl, I wish I could share my experience to the listeners, but I can't because I don't think no one will understand, but I know what had happened and I keep it to myself. You don't have to keep it to yourself. We could do a live one day and create a space for you to share your story if you want to. If you feel compelled to share your story, we'll all listen if you want to do that. But Roy, could it be, I listened to, because you told me you had a near death experience, right? But could it be, okay, so you were taught Jesus, right? That's what you were taught. But if you were in some other part of the world and you call God another name and you had that experience, Roy, we're not saying that God didn't do these things for you. What I'm saying is the brand of God that you were taught, you are giving that brand the credit when God is God, no matter what God is called. That's what I'm saying. And when we focus on God's name versus what God has done or what God does, then what we're doing is participating in the branding, and that in itself is separation. That's what I'm saying. Yeshua was real and probably is still guiding people in the spiritual realm. Yeah, I'm not. Okay, so me. We'll just use me for an example since it's my life. I let go of names long time ago. It's man's doing. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's man's doing. It's a way for us to say, no, I'm right and you're wrong, and we're right and you're wrong. No, it doesn't matter. If I was God, it wouldn't matter what you call me, girl. It wouldn't matter. It just wouldn't. There is diversity of people. We do things differently, y'all. There is no one name that God is called. I don't believe it. But that's just me. The Catholic Church gave out the names of the Jews just like DHS is helping our government, is giving out our information. I am not okay with that. I am not okay with that either, Jean. I am not okay with that. They gave the names. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are American names. Those names don't belong in that book. Those are edits. But y'all, this is for a deeper level, but y'all know we're the deep laners, so. See, I thought I only understood God has different names just as we have different languages. Well, what I'm saying is it don't matter. Like, we really fight over the names. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't call God that particular name, then, it's just, it's silliness. It's, again, we were talking about adulting earlier in the live. This is adulting. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? We don't care. So what we're doing is being more inclusive, and these thoughts that we are thinking, what we're discussing is expanded consciousness. Because we all have consciousness, as the person said on the live earlier. But in this space, what we're creating right now, our consciousness is expanding. He taught how to hold on to awareness so you don't fracture from ego of separation, dissidence, have to restart a new life and forget everything so you can grow, hopefully. What, Chef Dennis? Come on, Cheryl. What, Dennis? Roy, I absolutely believe in God, but I don't believe in religious beliefs anymore. I am free in my relationship with God. I still read and study the Bible for clarity. Yes. Good for you, Tammy. Of cycles and cycles of gaining the higher self. Most people follow dissonance and separate themselves from everything, so they fracture their connection to consciousness. Oh God, good and evil. Oh my God, we don't want to fracture our connection to consciousness and replace it with religion. Do y'all know we could be kicking out or nullify the experience with real consciousness? That's why I love your ways, because you understanding and comfortable. Oh, I think too, this is us developing. Tammy said this is us developing our own relationship with God. Yes, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. More than anything on this live. I'm not going to fight y'all about where you are, what you believe, how you believe, and what you experience. That's your experience. Have it. I'm just saying I've learned how to be more inclusive. That's all. And I love expanding my consciousness. The Pope is saying that we should respect other religions because it leads to being a better person. At least the Pope is being more understanding. Now, see, that's big because, see, that's, there go again. See, I didn't know the Pope said that is expanded consciousness. We got to expand because this is the thing. Okay, just say, for instance, there are other books, but we're going to use the Bible. So we got the 66 books that God is giving instructions on. So the question is, what has God said since those days? And did God stop speaking or not? So I'm going to answer it. God has said a lot through those days. To who? To his people. Who are his people? Humans. And is God still speaking? Yes. So it's not just the 66 books. We ourselves are a book. All of us. Great understanding of people and their ideas and concepts. Yes. No book holds the truth. Truth is existent itself. You gain truth by experience of just living. Hopefully living harmonious. That's why my observation, everything to me. I've lived long enough to see the middle and the ending of lots of people's lives. I've had conversations with people about intimate things, things that they aspired to, things that they wanted, things that they thought would happen or come to pass or not. And I've been around long enough to see the end of their life, to observe whether or not what they said, whether or not it happened or what. So I've expanded. I've used my whole life as a case study. I've been paying attention to everything, including me, especially me, but then everybody else around me too. So it really has made me just love life, and number two, just be more I just feel like a child in a way, in a beautiful way though. What I mean by that is that, you know how children are free and they just enjoy. So that's how I feel, because I understand I'm on a life lead. And I understand how good ice cream is, and how good conversations with people on YouTube is, and us sharing is, and all the mistakes that I've made. Good. I'm glad I made them. I learned. I've learned how to not condemn myself, and how to be, if I could be kind to Tammy, and if I could be kind to Roy, then I could be kind to Cheryl. You know, I deserve it too. So these seem like little small lessons, but they are big as a mountain to me. I've lived long enough to know what it feels like. You know, my mother is gone. She's gone. My mother is not here. I can't go to what was her address? What was it at 2406 or 2405 Branch Street? I think it was something like. I can't go to her house anymore, but it's okay, because I still think about her, and I can still hear her voice, and she lived out her life term, and it's okay. One day I'll be in the spirit too, so it's fine. I've lived long enough to be humble in that way, and to be grateful and gracious. Yeah, I mean, life is beautiful. Cheryl, through your evolving of life, what are your thoughts on life after this shell is no longer existing? Oh, well, let me tell you, girl. So, along with the Bible, I miss my mama so badly. Me too. But she's with you, Tammy. Because some days I look in the mirror and I was like, girl, I literally feel like her consciousness is a part of mine now. I'm completely different since she passed away. It's a strange thing, but this is brand new. This is brand new. Love in London just went through a breakup, and this is very uplifting to see your point of view in that you went through what you did and came out better. Yes, 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 yes. Respect, love you too. All is one. Yes. So let me just tell you. So, along with the reading of the scriptures, Tammy, that we do, I'm holding on to mine for dear life. Just love on her, Jamie. Just love on her. That's all. So the days that she's not here, you'll have that. Yes, people says that I am my mom in so many ways now. Yeah, it's something happened to us when they go. So along with the Bible and the wisdom, especially that comes with the book of Proverbs and the book of Songs, I look at those books as people who lived and they gave us their wisdom. And I still love those books. But along with that, science and metaphysics, it's been something that I've been looking into. So they've not tried, but they've measured energy and noticed, scientists like they notice everything else, that when we pass away, then energy leaves the body. They can kind of see it through some kind of way. I don't know, some of the blue light. I don't know what they do with, but they really realized and found out that energy escapes the body, right? And so not only does it escape the body, it leaves. That kind of goes with along with the literature, but also that it never dies. Like it just moves from one location to the next. So I said that to say this. The idea of consciousness is eternal. So are we. We are eternal. We are infinite. We never die. I do believe that inside of our consciousness, I think parts of our memory go with us into other lives or other dimensions. We came in this one to learn, to observe, to love, to grow. I think we'll go into the next one the same exact way. I feel like the God that made us, it's our soul. Okay, you can say that, Roy. I get that. But the God that made us made it that way. If a God would make something, a God now, and want to observe it, not just observe it, but to be in it. And that's why I say to y'all, God in me, Cheryl, through me to you as me. So you're looking at me, you say, oh, that's Cheryl. But it's God though, through me, as me. It's got the image of Cheryl, but it's really the living being. That's the twinkle in my eye, because I'm not dead, I'm alive. My body is not on the ground. It's sitting here talking to you. The living essence of who I am and who you are, and the expression is God. It never dies, Tammy. We don't have to worry about that. I feel like I feel like we're in this thing to evolve as many times as we need to. Mm-hmm. I think everything that, as we are a part of the same living presence, yeah. So we don't have to worry about that. Like we good. We're good. We're expanding still, and I think it's way more beautiful than we ever thought or imagined. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. Unfortunately, I believe in reincarnation. That's kind of what I was just explaining, Jean. But I never wanted to. What? I was skeptical before I fell into a coma and died for a little while. Tell us more. Jamie said, this is so beautiful and amazing group of people here today. It is. we're we've probably had infinite life before this. That's what I really think, Tammy. We just forget. Yes. I mean, why would we? And we don't need to remember, right? Because that messes up. Do you like to know what's going to happen in the movie at the end, at the beginning? That's spoiled the whole movie. Do you? You won't get the raw reaction. It won't be the same if you know everything before it happens. I think we've signed life contracts, literally. I think we saw our life before we actually came in the body. I think we chose our parents. And lots of us have had challenging lives, but we're spiritual beings, we're infinite beings. So, we like, I got that. Life has to be a beautiful thing because we come in here, boy, and some of the things that we experience, boy, I tell you. Um, yeah, I do believe that the soul lives forever. I still do believe in heaven and hell, but I understand that not everyone feels the same. I do usually guess the ending of the movie. Me too, Gene, but that's not what I'm talking about. You don't know for sure. Like, if you're talking to a friend and she done sat there and told you the whole dang on movie, you be like, Lord, I don't even know if I want to watch it or not. I do too, Gene. I can figure it out too most of the time. But The Sixth Sense, I did not figure that out. Did you? I didn't know what was going on. I didn't find out that little boy was dead until I went back to work. And the ladies at the salon, Tammy, at your mama's shop, was talking about it. And that's how I found out the little boy was deceased. I was like, what? I am not big on surprises. Yeah. So, yeah. And listen, the conversation that we are having, that's that person has to know everything, LOL. The conversation that we are having is because the consciousness on the planet is rising. We would have been way too scared to have a conversation like this 20 years ago. Tell the truth. And now y'all see a black woman on screen, just a regular black woman. I'm not rich. I don't come from a rich family. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I'm just an average black lady having such a beautiful conversation. I don't think we look the same life after death. We look the same after death. Probably not. Earth is a conduit too. It's a part of us. Within it, know us. Oh, my son. I want to bring True. I want to bring my middle son here to talk to y'all. Ooh, honey, what a conversation we will have. And Tammy, I'm telling you, I love it. I love engaging with intelligent, loving, open-minded people. Me too. He's the thing about him. He's been like this ever since he was 10 years old. Yeah, he's always thought outside of the box. Always. I used to look at him and say, where did you get that from? And why are you that way? And now he and I talk and we have some of the most deepest conversations. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. To me, this was a fantastic live. I don't even think we had not one troll. Did y'all block anybody? If y'all did, it won't no more than about 1 or 2 people. But kisses and hugs. I told y'all we would go live tonight, and we did. And yeah, and we're gonna have some more conversations too about this. Let's see. Ooh, you are INFJ, really? So people like me tend to go over different scenarios and different conversations in our heads. Guessing a movie plot is part of my characteristic trait. I've studied a little bit about the INFJ. I know about that. Good night, Mark Quinn. Good night. Bible says dominance, dominion over the land. Better translation is the word stewardship, to help heal and guide, to bring about a harmonious existence. Okay. My oldest son has great insights. Okay. What's up, K-Star? So do you believe when someone say only God knows the time or the hour when we leave this earth? Or is it God in us that already order our steps? I feel like it's both. Thank you, Shelley. I think it's both. Characteristic trait is to pass through and bother Miss Fine. Shut up. Jean says, sure, you are so sweet. I love your live stream. Thank you, Jean. You are very sweet too. Thank you for coming back. Um, yeah, it was so good. Cortisol levels down. Love you, Cheryl. Thanks for the conversation. Awesome. Let's do it again. Good night. God bless you. God bless you too. God bless you too, Jamie. God bless y'all. Y'all, I be in my element with these conversations. This is my element right here, honey. Because I got a little piece of nerd. Time is not fundamental. It's a perspective. Honey, I don't know who you are, Cocoa Puff, but you are Cocoa Puffing. Okay? Um, so yeah, good night, y'all. Love y'all. Don't forget, if y'all listen, if you come through this live, consider subscribing to the channel. I couldn't get it out. God bless you too. And old as I am, I'm still learning a lot from you. Oh, really, K Star? I love hearing that. Have a blessed evening, Miss Fine Thing. You too. Very insightful, Coco. Yes, Coco is very insightful. Good night, Shelly. Good night. Good night, Nikki. We should be open-minded. Thank you. Yes. Open-minded is real good, especially in 2025. Great live and good night all. Yep, me too.